A young couple moves into their new apartment. As Rob, the husband, brings a few boxes up into the place, his wife, Gail, tells him about a funky old refrigerator in the corner that the landlord left behind. Rob finds it fascinating, noting how the motor is above instead of underneath like refrigerators these days. However, Gail barely pays attention, and she simply agrees to the things Rob says. She then brings out a bottle of wine and asks her husband if he wants to drink. Rob gets excited and opens the old fridge to get some ice. However, the freezer is bulked up with frost, but he still manages to get a little cube of ice. The couple then makes a short toast to their new life together. Before Rob could take a sip of his drink, he notices something inside the ice. He takes it out of the glass and shows it to Gail, asking her to confirm what's inside the ice cube. Gail looks closer and becomes just as surprised as her husband. Wanting to confirm what she saw, Gail grabs a magnifying glass to inspect the ice cube closely. Surprisingly, inside it is a miniature mammoth with spears in its body. Gail wonders if there are more of these things in the freezer, so she opens it. She quickly takes out the junk inside and gets shocked by what she sees. With this, Rob takes a peek and comments there's a lost civilization in the refrigerator. True enough, the freezer contains a miniature working medieval city. Everything inside moves so fast, with the little people going through their day normally, unaffected by the two giants hovering near their city. In disbelief, Gail claims that what's happening doesn't make sense, and Rob agrees. She then clarifies that they're seeing an early medieval city, when woolly mammoths died out sometime in the late Neolithic period. Rob shrugs it off and simply agrees with his wife to hide his ignorance. Later on, Rob buries the frozen mammoth in a pot of dirt. Rob seems sad about it, so Gail lightens up the mood and says that it'll probably make for a good fertilizer. Curiosity takes over, and the two check the freezer again. To their surprise, everything has changed drastically. What used to be a medieval city is now a modernized place during the Industrial Revolution. Factories and railroads are built, covering the freezer's sky with smoke. The couple notes that they've only been gone for 10 minutes, but decades have already gone by for the miniature people. With this, Gail theorizes that time moves differently inside the freezer. Seconds later, modernized buildings are erected. Rob notices things flying around, and Gail identifies them as airplanes. As more skyscrapers are built, Gail believes that the miniature people have reached the present time. Rob confirms this when he sees a Walmart store and comments that the cafe really pops out everywhere. Just then, he notices something weird, so he takes a closer look. Suddenly, a missile falls into the middle of the city and explodes. The explosion blinds Rob, making him back away and fall onto the floor. Gail helps him up and tells him to calm down, but Rob panics, exclaiming that tactical nukes are exploding in their freezer.